Hey everyone, welcome to Chair Yoga with Clarissa. I'm Clarissa and this is Chair Yoga, and today we are doing Chair Yoga for hip mobility. That's right, hip mobility can be done in a chair, and I am here to show you exactly how we're going to do that. So let's begin our class by scooting back in your chair, and let's go ahead and just take a soft, gentle warm up just by inhale. Let's take both hands to your belly and inhale, fill up your belly. Exhale, send the air out of your belly. Let's do that again. Inhale, fill up your belly. Exhale, send all the air out. Again, inhale, fill up your belly. Expand and exhale. Send the air out, squeeze your belly. Last time, inhale, expand that belly. And exhale, send the air out. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs and let's gently practice sending one foot at a time. Let's scoot forward just a touch for this one. Sit tall and practice sending one foot at a time out and then bringing it in, sliding it in toward your body. So let's add our breath to this movement. Let's slide our foot out. I'm doing my right foot first. Have a generous bend in your knee if that feels good for you. And slide it. So if we're adding our breath to that, let's inhale as we bring our foot toward our body. And exhale as we send that heel out. Again, inhale, foot toward your body. And exhale, heel goes out. Inhale, up on the ball of the foot. Exhale, foot goes out. Keep that going. Let's do two more. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Bring it in. I'm going to scooch back just a tiny little bit. This time, I would like for you, if it feels okay for you, same leg, maybe pick up your leg, put your hands, clasp them underneath your thigh, and maybe send that leg out and bring it in. If that feels okay for you. If that's not okay, then keep that foot on the ground. That's totally fine. Do what we were doing. Sliding it in, sending it out, just like that. If it's okay for you though, pick it up and practice staying nice and tall, sending that leg out, bringing it in. It doesn't have to be super high. If you want to add breath to it, inhaling and exhaling as you extend it out. Inhale, flexing that knee. Exhale, sending it out. Last one, inhale. Exhale, flexing, extending. Good job. Let's shake it out. Bring, alternating, pedaling those feet out, coming up onto the balls of your feet. Maybe your hands come to those knees, almost like that little cat, big cat walk we were doing the other day with those shoulders going up and down to assist those knees. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So when you're ready, come to a seated pose here. And we're going to call this one seated mountain. Nice tall spine. Let's take our arms up, reach up high. Inhale. Exhale, send your right arm down. Inhale again. Exhale, send your left arm down. Once again, inhaling, everything comes up. Exhale, let's do the opposite now. Send your left arm down. Exhale, send your right arm down. One more time, everything comes up. Inhale in, exhale, send everything down. Great job. Coming back to that seated mountain, send your left leg out. We're sliding and come to the front of your chair where you feel nice and sturdy here as you begin to slide on the ball of your foot and then extend your leg out with your heel flexed. Practicing that extension and flexion of that ankle. Adding your breath to it. Maybe your hands come to the bottom of the chair. Focusing in on that nice tall mountain spine and synchronizing your breath with your movement. So inhaling as you bring your toes in up on the ball of the foot. Exhaling as you slide that foot out and flex that ankle. Keep it going. You got it. Just like that. You can be super gentle with this one. You don't have to come so far. Always, always, always listen to your body. Don't push yourself past your own range of motion. We want everyone staying happy and healthy here at Chair Yoga class. All right, one more time. Inhale and exhale, send that heel out. And if you have it in your practice, take your hands, clasp them beneath your thigh, and maybe gently lift up that leg. Inhaling as you bring your foot toward you. Exhaling as you extend your leg out. Focusing on that nice tall spine. Just like that. If you've reversed your breath, that's okay. Just when you realize you have, come back. Inhaling on the way in. Exhaling as you send it out. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Send that leg down. Maybe pedal out those feet. Bring those shoulders into it. Add a little bit of play for that big cat shoulder movement. Keep it going. And when you're ready, you feel nice and stretched out. Find your mountain, your seated mountain pose. Nice tall spine. Crown of the head is lifted. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our right leg, come up on the ball of your foot. Scooch up on the front edge of your chair. And we're going to take our hip and externally rotate and then internally rotate. Okay, so externally rotate and internally rotate. Again, we're not forcing anything, okay? So don't take your hand and just push your hip open. I want you to go only as far as your hip is allowing. Don't go any further. And internally rotating. Externally rotate. And internally rotate. And just keep this going for just a moment. You can add your breath to it. Inhaling as you internally rotate. And exhaling as you externally rotate. Staying up on those tippy toes on the ball of your foot. Remember that your hand is just there as a guide, not so much a a pulley or anything like that. It's just a guide to assist your knee and your leg in this journey of internally and externally rotating that hip. Let's do 3 more all together. So in and out, that's 1. That's 2. Here we go. Here's number 3. And coming to the center, bring that foot down, maybe plant it into the ground. Really feel that foot planted on the ground. Excellent. Now for that left leg, bring your foot, or come onto the ball of your left foot. You got this, guys. Bear with me as I put the English language together. Bring your left hand onto your left knee to support, just to aid in the external rotation and the internal rotation, just like that. You got it. Externally rotate, internally rotate. And remember, never going past your range of motion. It may be different from one day to another. I have particularly tight hips today. I did some lower body exercise yesterday, so my hips they're talking to me today. And so this is a much needed class for me today to really get those hip joints moving and working as they should. Another part of our body that when we don't stretch it out and use our hips, those tend to really want to tighten up. So this is really great movement to add to your little arsenal, your movement arsenal. You want to add that breath in. Let's inhale as you internally rotate and exhale as you externally rotate. Being gentle with your body. Again, try to really relax that arm, almost like that arm is a spaghetti noodle. We don't want it super stiff. I find myself clenching and grabbing. We want to do the opposite of that today. We really want to focus in on relaxing our fingers, relaxing our arm, but still keeping a nice tall mountain spine. That way we could really isolate the hip joint and our hips, really focusing on the mobility. Big breath in. Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale, release. Let's take it real far back, and let's roll those ankles, if you will. Maybe your right foot is completely planted. My back is all the way up against my chair, and I'm just barely lifting my left leg off the ground. There's a slight bend in my knee, and I'm going to do some ankle circles right here because that is what my body is calling for. Breathing through it, maybe going one way. Pay attention to which direction you're going and go the other way. You got this. Giving our ankles some love. And set it down in 3, 2, 1. Release. Send your right leg up ever so gently. And do some ankle circles. Start some ankle circles, breathing, long, slow, deep breaths. Keep it going. Go the other way. One way might be harder than the other. That's okay. Last deep breath here. And gently set down that leg. Let's come to the front edge of our seat. Find your footing. Seated mountain pose. Nice tall spine. And let's go ahead and pick up, if it's in your practice, pick up your foot. I'm going to start with my left leg. Pick up your foot and then heel toe your foot down. Heel toe gently. So keep it going. Picking it up and heel toe intentionally down. If it's not in your practice to pick up your leg, then just heel toe it in place. So flexing that foot, heel toeing down. So just whatever your body is asking for today, listen and do that. So if you need it up, and then set it down, heel toe. Or if you need it here, down, heel toe. Same leg, so stay on the same side. This is how we walk. When we walk, we do a lot of heel toeing, but really breaking down the movement, we don't do a whole lot of that. Breaking down the movement of walking, heel toeing. One more time. Great job. Let's move on to the other side again. Option to simply heel toe, keeping that foot on the ground, or clasp your hands under your thigh, bring your right leg up and set it down, heel toe. Up, set it down, heel toe. If you want breath with that movement, you can inhale as you rise up and exhale, heel toe. Inhale, exhale, heel toe. You got it. Keep that going. If you catch yourself rushing it, I did on that last one, slow it down. Make the next one extra slow. If you catch yourself just stomping that foot down or just putting it down without even thinking about it, the whole point of this exercise is getting that ankle moving and also really breaking down that heel toe movement. Let's do two more. Last one. Great job. All right, let's scoot back a tiny bit in our chair, and we're going to take both of our legs out. Maybe, okay, don't scoot back too far. Have a tendency of scooting back too far. Let's take both legs out, and let's just point. Scoot back a little so you can see me. Point and flex. Point and flex. If you want to be a little more upright, and I think I want to be a little more upright, that's probably a good idea. There we go. Oh, that feels much better. There we go. So stay upright, staying on the front part of your chair. I know I told you to scoot back, but disregard. Sorry. I'm human. I make mistakes too. All right, just point and flex. Just keep that going. Should really feel that all the way from, maybe from your hips all the way down to the tips of your toes. You might feel that line of energy in that whole leg bone there. I'm grabbing onto the bottom of my chair. Great. Okay. Couple more of these. Let's do 3, 2, 1. Release. Slide those legs in. This next one, we're going to take it up. Come onto the balls of your foot. I really want you to make sure you have a lot of stability in this movement. So be gentle with yourself. Let's scoot toward the side of our chair. And I want you to make sure you really feel secure and stable in your chair before you take your leg back. And that is what we're going to do. We're going to gently, slowly take our leg back. Don't go any further than Like I said, then your body is asking for, you might need to scooch over in your chair, but just make sure you've got a nice bit of hip or bottom in your chair to where you still feel very stable in your chair. You're not going to fall out of your chair. Take your left hand, maybe hold on to the back of your chair. You can set your left foot down, planted into the ground. So adjust as needed. Get really stable here. Then we're going to come onto the ball of our foot on our right hand side. So if you do not have this range of motion, you cannot go that far, that is okay. You can be right here and still focus in on tucking your tailbone down. And then really maybe stick it out. Feel the reverse of that. So that would be like a little arch in the back. Feel the reverse of that. So now tuck your tailbone down. And kind of let your leg hang a little bit while being on the ball of your foot. And tuck your tailbone down. You should feel a nice stretch in that front part of your hip right here. So maybe you could put your hand there, or you can put it here on your side. If your foot wants to go back a little bit more, stay nice and stable. I know my heel is lifted on my opposite foot. Don't do that. Put your foot down, sorry. And just extend that foot out. Stay on the ball of your foot. You want a nice 90-degree angle, really tucking that tailbone, and you can feel what it feels like to do the opposite of that. You're not getting that same stretch when you stick your butt out and you round your back. But when you tuck your tail and your belly button is pulled into your spine, you get that nice front thigh stretch there. So that's what we're aiming for here. We're not going to be here long. Don't worry, you got this. Let's send your arm high into the air. This is my right hand, high into the air. And take it for a side stretch. Send it up straight into the air. And take it all the way down. We're going to take it for a gentle twist. This is it for this motion. Right hand comes to left knee. Maybe head looks over to the back of your chair. At any moment in time that knee gets a little too tender, feel free to back out or lessen that stretch there. If not, though, you can just keep it. Ball of foot, nice stretch going on in that front thigh. One more deep breath. Unwind, assist that leg back up to the center or the side center. Big breath in, and let's come to the front, facing front. Scooch up on the side of your chair. Big breath in, maybe arms go up. And exhale, arms come down. We have to get even. It's doing that on the other side. So I'm going to scoot my blocks over. All right, so coming onto the tips of your toes, the balls of your feet to come. Get set up on this side, making sure that right bottom, that right glute is really planted onto that chair. Right foot stamps down into the ground. Really find your footing here before you send that left leg back. You might need to adjust where you are on your chair to really find your stability and where you feel safe in that chair. Take your right hand to the back of your chair. Mine's holding on to the top back of my chair. And I want you to play with that hip flexor again, or your tailbone, sending that bottom back and then tucking that tail down. Really feel the difference here in that front thigh muscle there. That one is called the psoas muscle if you are interested in knowing the name. But for all intents and purposes, here we are going to call it that front thigh muscle. So really kind of play with that and feel the difference and really that should really shine a spotlight onto what you're supposed to be doing. You really feel some fire going on in there, and that's really good. Building that muscle, really toning it up, stretching out that neglected psoas muscle there. So get a good stretch. Maybe hand comes to hip. If that knee is saying, no, not happening, back out a little bit. That's okay. You're still getting a good stretch with that tailbone tucked. Plant everything down. Play with it. Really plant the ball of your foot, feeling nice and stable. If at any point you are not feeling stable, back out. That is okay. Let's go and reach our left arm up high. Maybe look up with your arm and take it over for a stretch, reaching toward the back of your chair. Breathing nice, long, slow, deep breaths. Reach up high, send your arm down. Maybe it comes to your hip. Now we're taking it for that twist, left arm to right leg. Maybe your head and neck. Turn, look over your right shoulder. Let's take 3 long, slow, deep breaths here. Here's number 2. And the last one. Gently, slowly unwind, release from that twist. Assist your leg to come up to the side. And then reset toward the center. Excellent job, everybody. This next stretch we are going to do, we're going to pick up, we're going back to what we learned before about picking up our leg. So we're doing the heel toe. So heel toe if you're not picking up your leg, both sides. We're going to do a couple rounds of this to kind of really feel that hip. Maybe what we've done after. How is it feeling now? What's going on? Are your hips talking to you? Let's go ahead and do 3 rounds. So that's the 3 on that leg, and then let's get even 3 on this side. Up and down, up and down. Last time, up and down. Excellent job. Now let's take our legs a tad bit wider. And what we are going to do is we're going to take our leg out. If you need to scoot yourself or make your stance or your legs a little bit wider. My chair has these pokey ends kind of, so gonna kind of work through that. Okay, so find your stability. Send your left leg out. Ankle is flexed. Those toes are facing the ceiling. And what I'd like you to do is lift your arms up. And then send your arms, maybe they gently fall to the side and keep everything nice and tall. I slumped down. I did what you're not supposed to do. So focus on the nice tall spine first. Then bending at the hip, maybe holding on to those hip joints to remind you to keep a nice tall spine and bend at the hip. This might be it right here. Some people their nose can touch their knee. That's not me, my friend. So just do what you can to get a nice stretch, really focusing in on leaning from the hips. That's a challenge. That's a real challenge. So, and when you're ready, I'd like for you to take your arms and maybe hang them down or reach toward to keep a fire going in those arms. Everything nice and engaged, belly button into spine, nice tall spine, bending at the hip, then reach toward that left foot. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Release, bringing that leg in. Let's shake it out. Maybe come onto those toes and then set them down. Coming onto those toes and set them down. Let's do that one more time. Onto those toes and set them down. Great job. Let's keep even. Doing it on the other side. Adjust your seat. Stay stable. Find that stability. And when you're ready, flexing that right foot, take those hands to those hip joints and leaning from the hips. Lean, lean, lean. Nice tall spine. You really probably feel a lot in that calf muscle there, and maybe that hamstring even. That's the muscle behind the top of your thigh right here. So you're probably feeling it there. Maybe a little bit in those. You should probably feel it in those hips too. All the way from your hips, all the way down to that calf muscle on the bottom of your leg. When you're ready and you feel nice and tall, take those arms out, reaching, almost framing the right foot. And then if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can do that. If not, back out and just stay nice and tall. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Release, bring the legs up. Let's do that. Up on the toes and down on the heels. Let's do that 2 more times. Up on the toes, down on the heels. Last time, up on the toes, down on the heels. Now let's take both legs together, sending them out, flexing the feet maybe. Doesn't have to be so flexed. I don't want them pointed, but maybe an in-between. Find your footing here. Maybe grab the bottom of your chair. Nice tall spine. Bending again at the hips. Woo, I feel that fire behind my knees right there. Oh yeah, definitely in those calf muscles, in those hamstrings. They are talking to me. Just a gentle bend. That is all you need. If you have the range of motion, maybe your arms come down and maybe your torso comes down just a little bit more, but not arching, not folding. We're not folding into anything. We are keeping a nice tall spine and just really bending at those hips right here. And when you're ready, send those arms where they are going to land. Mine are going to land right on the sides of my thighs. Keeping a nice tall spine, couple deep breaths here. Let's take 3 long, slow, deep breaths. Here comes 2, inhale. If you want to go a little bit deeper on the exhale, feel free to do that. And back out gently. Maybe take it for a little pedal. Excellent job. All right. We're going to take it now. Let's just take it to our seat. Really scoot back. Find a nice, comfortable spot here. Maybe you're leaned back in your chair. Maybe you're not. Maybe you've got some books or some blocks and you can elevate those feet. Give them a little bit of a different feel than the floor, and maybe kind of a little ease in those hips, not so much pulling there. So just take a moment here. If you have blocks or some books to put under your feet, it might be a nice little sensation, like a little foot massage here. At the end, did a lot of heel toe movements, and you know what? Quite frankly, it's feels nice to be a little bit taller in those feet, huh? I know we're not standing, but it gives a nice sensation of just having that foot elevated. It's a nice sensation. If you can try it, definitely do. You don't have to have yoga blocks, but anything really, a book, a block, a box. Just don't try to stand up on it after. Anyway, find yourself in that comfortable position. Find a resting position for your hands. We're going to shut down our eyes and take a short meditation here at the end of class. Excellent work today. Really focusing on those hips with me today. Y'all did great. Maybe shut down those eyes. Or take the gaze, make the gaze a little bit softer. Maybe find an inhale through the nose and a soft exhale through the nose. If you're breathing out of the mouth, that's just fine too. Just however you're breathing, just stick with that. Stay consistent with your own breath. Don't change it because of what I'm doing. I think the word I was looking for earlier was floating. That your feet, if they're elevated a little bit and they're not on the floor, it's almost as if they're just hovering a little bit, floating, a little bit lighter. Maintain your breath. Try to stay as still as possible. Really find that spot. If you need to make minor adjustments to be comfortable, make those minor adjustments right now. Still breathing throughout. If you feel any tension in your body, in your hips, or in your legs, your ankles, anywhere that maybe is talking to you a little bit more, breathe in, send a little bit of energy to that space. And exhale, release any tension left over. Again, breathing in, sending openness and energy into that space. And exhaling any tension, releasing that. Focus in on your breath. Expanding of your belly as you breathe in. And the contracting as you breathe out. The expanding as you inhale. And the contracting of your muscles as you breathe out. Tune into your body. And the softness of your breath. Let's take 2 more long, slow, deep breaths. I'll count with you. 1, inhale. 1, exhale. 2, inhale. 2, exhale. Gently start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Maybe flutter your eyes open. Bring a little bit of gentle, subtle movement back into your body. I'm going to stretch my arms out and then bring them in. Maybe shoulders go down. Take a few of those seated cat-cows. Arching of the back. And sending that neck up, rounding and arching. Gently breathing, exhaling the round. Inhaling on the arch. Last one, rounding like a cat. Opening up that chest. Inhaling for that cow. Back to center. Thank you so much for practicing chair yoga with me today. Maybe remove those blocks or books, setting your feet on the floor. Scoot up to the front edge of your chair. Let's take a big breath in together. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Thank you so much for practicing chair yoga for hip mobility with me today. I'm Clarissa, and together we say, Namaste.